Yo, what's up guys, and welcome to a brand new video over on the channel. So in today's video, what we're going to be doing is walking you guys through the profit we made from our 70 investments we made last week. What I'm going to be doing is going through the players one by one, talking about did I sell at the right time, obviously what did I buy them for, what did I sell them for, the overall profit, and just walking you guys through a few trends I've learned. As always, if you guys are interested in signing up to SoRare, there is a referral link down below. Once winning 5 cards on the bidding market, you will receive a free tradable limited card. Don't overpay to get this free limited card because it's only worth about £2 to £7. On top of that, you do have to be 18 to play SoRare because it is real life money and that money is there to be lost as well as it is there to be made. And finally, if you guys are interested in watching the trading, investing and scouting investments live on the stream, I do it every day on my Twitch from about 7 PM every day. So starting off with an insane investment, obviously my best investment so far. And that is Mr. Baz Coupiers. And the reason this guy worked very, very well is because he has an L5 of 62, an L15 of 35, and his two most recent scores are 79 and 97. So it's our back-to-back blinders. In fact, he bought a 44.1 in his all-round, which is insane. Now, let's go and show you guys how this went. So before the game, because I knew he was kind of set up to have a good game if he could have had a good game, which obviously like kind of did, I picked up 4 for £4. I then, when he was playing, went and picked up 1, 2, 3, no, I picked up 5 for £6, including that one there. I then went and picked up 2 more for £7.50, and then just towards the tail end of it, I picked up another one for £7. Now, what's quite interesting is he didn't really do too well. It went up to about £8.50, and then what happened was the weekend tournament, I guess, ended. Because the weekend tournament ended, it opened up the deadline or the eligibility to submit a team for the following weekend, if this makes any sense. And as a result, that's when the demand boomed and went up here. It actually hit as high as 16.7. But let's go and walk you guys through what we managed to sell them for. So the first one we sold for £14, which turned over a £10 profit. Second one we sold for £14, turned over another £10 profit. Third one we sold for £13.90, so turned over a £9.90 profit. Fourth one we sold for £13.70, so turned over a £9.70 profit. Fifth one sold for £14.70, so turned over an £8.70 profit. This one sold for £14.90, so turned over a £9 profit. This one here, £14.50, turned over an £8.50 profit. This one here sold for £8.87, so turned over a £8.80 profit. This one that sold for £14.50, which was an £8.50 profit. This one sold for £14.50, which is a £7 profit. This one that sold for £16.50, which was a £9 profit. And then I went and got this crazy trade offer. This guy originally offered me a player. Honestly, offered me players worth like £12, and I was like, oh, do one. I was like, that's rubbish. And then went straight in with this offer here of £10.50 and a guy worth, I think at the time was like £8. I just went and sold him for £7 so I could sell him pretty fast. Which meant that we made ourselves another £10.50 on this deal, which is very, very nice. Which means that the overall profit from just Baz Coupiers alone is £109.90. So about 110 quid off of buying 12 of him. Which is kind of crazy because the initial investment probably would have been nothing more than like 40, 50 quid. So yeah, to make a £110 profit on him is very, very nice. So, great way to start the video. Let's go and get underway with another one of the investments. Now, quite an interesting one right here, which is Victor Angerban. Now, I went and bought this guy 2 weeks ago because I think he had a relatively decent score, and I went and picked up 4 of him for £4.90. Now, what's very weird is he then went and got this score, and I think the reason, and he didn't really rise much, I think he went up maybe like 2-3 quid and I didn't bother selling him. Or maybe I found it quite hard to sell him. Well, what's weird is he went and got this score. But he would have had a L5 of 80% because he would have had that DMP in there. Well, after relatively average score, I think it did, I think it lowered the actual L5 by 1. So it went from 52 to 51. But what it did is it gave 100% L5. And I think that just absolutely boosted the living daylights out of his price. As we can see right here, he would have gone from about that. And then he had, like, again, a relatively average game. And he just, banged here at the likes of £14. Now, since he actually has been up at, like, 21, £18, like, £15. So there were slightly better sales than what we managed to get. But, can't complain, don't want to greed it too much. So, Angerban, how are we doing? So we picked up 4 of him for £4.90. The first one sold for, boom, £12.60. That's going to be a £7.7 profit. £7.70. The second one sold for £11.70. That's a £6.50 profit. Next one sold for £11.30. That's a £6. Where are we going down? Oh yeah, so the previous one would have been £6.80. This is a £6.50 profit. And then the last one we sold for £12.58, which is a £7.60 profit. So, not bad. Now, obviously, he did start going, you know, after that, he did actually start banging. But, again, beggars can't be choosers. Sold for £21 being the highest. So, almost double what we managed to sell ours for. But can't complain because we did manage to turn over a nice £28.60 profit on just 4 Victor Angerbangs. And I'll be honest with you, if he drops again, he could be a player. Again, because his L15 is still 37. Oh no, he's about to lose that. He's about to lose that score, so no, it wouldn't be an investment this week. So not an investment I made, but an investment that I definitely looked into buying, but just didn't get around to buying. When I was looking at buying him, he was about £6. Well, he went up to £11-12 this week, so just a player that I scouted and called, but I didn't get into any of them because I think he was going for like £5.50, and for some reason I didn't want to pay above. Yeah, I think I was being too savvy on buying him, and obviously messed out on this rise right here. But I probably wouldn't have got into too many of him because his game was quite late anyway. But there you go. They're just a player that I didn't buy, but I did, you know, I basically have on my watch list, so I did scout him. But yeah, sadly it didn't do. Didn't get into any, even though he did really well. So then get to the next card, which is Goldie. Now, what's quite interesting about this, guys, he's not actually the worst card in the world to hold, but I did go and sell all the ones I brought. So we picked up 8, and the 8 that we bought 1 for £2.40, 2 for £2.90, 2 for £2.60, and 3 for £2. Now the sales weren't too bad. The sales were anywhere from about £3.50, peaking up here at £4.20. Highest sale he managed to get was £4.50, so he didn't really miss out on the peaks, which is decent. Every card was sold for a profit, and the overall profit on him was £9.70, so not bad. Now underway with another one of our investments. We've got a Sergi Petrov. Now I picked up, how many did I pick up of this guy? 14 of this guy. Jesus. 11 of them were at £2.80 back at the beginning of the week, and 3 of them were for about £3.20, as you can see right here. Now, not bad. He had a mediocre score. I think he got like 60, which actually wasn't bad for how his team did. So we sold a few here early on for £4 and £3.50. Then we went and sold a bunch right here for about £3.70 and £3.50. And then peaking up at £4 and £4.90. Now, later, I guess earlier today, he was actually selling at £6, £6.80. The only problem is obviously I had 14 to sell on, so I don't really have the luxury of waiting until the last minute to try and sell. So I don't think we did too bad. He did have these peaks right here at £4.70, but we seemed to catch the second set of peaks, which was pretty decent. So the profits on him, let's have a little look. So the highest profit was £1.70. The most average profit was 70p. I think we made 7 70p profits. Got another £1 profit, 2 90p profits, and yeah, the overall profit on the 14 cards was £11.80, so not too bad whatsoever. So now underway with another player that did insane for me, especially as I guess we kind of lucked out with the amount of cards we brought. So we went and picked up 17 Poundersons right here for £2.60. This is because he had a very favourable score already. Going into this game, he already had 1, 2, 3, 4. So these were his 5 average, and his 5 average were already coming up about 45, 46. Did luck out and he got a 78 because he did get a decisive, yeah, which was nice. So we had 17 of him, so let's have a little look how he did. So, we went and, as I say, the 17 were bought for, 15 were bought for £2.60, 2 were bought for £3. In terms of sales, they weren't too bad. They ranged everywhere from about £4.60, even getting sales up here at £5.50 and £5.40. The average profit on these was around about £2 was the average profit on these. So the £2.30 maybe. So highest profit was £3. 2 profits were £2.90. 2 profits of £2.30. 3 profits of £2.10. 4 profits of £1.90. I think there are only 6 out of these 17 cards are sold under £2, so not bad. So the overall total on the likes of Pounderson was 39.7, so very nice on him, you know, above 50. Now, Oliver came in, got his high L5 because he actually DMP'd the last few games and only got this score. And this was, I guess, the mistake in buying him and a few of the players. So, basically, if they haven't played many of the last 5 games, you know, let's say 1 or 2 in the last 5, they haven't done very well. But even though he's got the highest L5, because he's only played 1 game out of the last 5, and basically a bit of uncertainty around will he start, he hasn't really been too good. Now we can see he's risen, but you can see on this graph right here that we haven't really made any money. So let's go and walk you guys through. So the buys, we went and bought 10 at £3.70 and 2 at £2.90. You can see right here are the buys at £2.90, and here are the rest of the buys at £3.70. We managed to sell 1 with a trade offer worth £4.50, so that's an 80p profit. We sold another for another 80p profit. We can actually see that people actually managed to go and sell him for a little bit higher, but you know, going into the deadline, they haven't really moved much. Now, I've gone and sold 1 for £3.70, so that's another one that we've gone and broken even on. We sold another one there for £4.15, so that's another, where are we going? Another 40p profit on. And there's another one there sold for £3.70, so that's break even, or 50p profit on the others. Now, I'm stuck with, I think I've got 3 left, which I'll be taking a 20p loss on 2 of, and a profit of 50p on the other one. And then the rest we're going to sell for £3.50. Obviously, buying for £3.70 and selling for £3.50 is a 20p loss. And again, overall 7 cards were sold for a 20p loss. Therefore, the overall profit was £1.60. So no money, barely any money made, barely any money lost. Obviously, yes, we wasted time in buying and selling, but it's not really wasted time if you learn something. And I guess the thing we're taking away from this is even if they've got a high L5, if that L5 comes from just 1 or 2 scores, hold off buying that player. Unless they've maybe had, if he had back-to-back 70s, I actually think he would have done pretty well. But because it's a one-off, people don't really back him getting that again. Because they don't back him getting it again, you know, the people aren't buying him. Who is Maximilian Bauer? We went and picked him up again. Decent L5 there, 54. L15 under 40. Went and picked up one of him for £8.99. Went and sold him on here for a £11.38, which means I just took home about a £2.40 profit on him. Again, he didn't really do as well as maybe if he got this score last week, and that's because there was an overwhelming amount of defenders with high L5s and L15s under 40. You had him, you had Itter, you had Pytov, you had Coupiers, you had, and then there's just a few others. And I think because of the amount, obviously there's high supply, but only demand for one of them. So, or maybe 2 if people can use a defender as a sub, but that's not so mainstream. But yeah, not too bad. Again, he did very well just due to getting a decent score. Had a nice rise. Peaked up there at £11.80, so we kind of caught the peak. Yeah, apart from these 2. Unlike, who was the last player? Unlike Kemen, who we didn't really catch the peak of, but not bad. £2.40 profit on him. Not much to say. On to the next player. And we've underway with Itter. Someone I was actually really disappointed of the demand of him. There really hasn't been much demand for him, which is why we haven't really made good money. But he had a decent L5, decent, obviously his L15 fits under it. But I think this obviously just comes back to the point I made previously, which there are a lot of defenders this week, and because there was a lot of defenders, there was a lot of options. There were players who actually had a higher L5 and were way cheaper, so I guess that's obviously why he's done what he's done. So, moving on the way the stats of what happens, we bought 1 at £7.50, there we go. We then went and picked up 4 for about £9.20 on average, and then we went and bought 1 here for £8.44. Now the one bought for £8.44 is pretty cool, because we bought him for £8.44 and sold him for £10.30, the exact same card. How many hours apart was that? Only 20 minutes apart, so that was more of a trade than anything. But yeah, as you can see, the demand for this guy is pretty rubbish. I mean, he's literally only had 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you've kind of had my, I guess, quote-unquote, maybe panic sold cards. So the money was, we made £1.86 on that little trade, 86p on the one we got for £7.50. We then lost £1.20 on this card, 90p on... We then lost, £1.60 on this card, and then we lost ourselves 90p on this card, and this card. Therefore, the overall loss was, get out from the calculator, basically a £2 loss. There was £2 lost on me buying 6 of him. But again, you learn a lesson. The lesson learned is just be careful of how many players fit under said criteria, because again, there were a lot of defenders, and again, there were players who were only £4 or £5 who had a better L5, and therefore would have been more appetizing, rather than someone who's triple the price, who allegedly is performing worse. So another card that was quite underwhelming was Postigo, and it's the exact same reason as Kemen, as in he's only played 1 game, and as a result people don't have much, I guess, they're not very sure if he'll go and play the next game, if he'll go and play the next game as well as he did the previous game. But yeah, so we went and picked up 8 of them. We picked up 8 of them for £2. One was sold here for £1.97, so give or take break even. And this one was sold for £1.76, so it's a 24p loss. So you now might be wondering what the overall profit was, and the overall profit was £237. So absolutely insane, bear in mind it was a 1 week hold. The odd player was 2 weeks, but you know, not the vast majority. So 1 week hold, I think we invested probably about £300 to £400 and we turned over a profit of £237. So very, very happy with that is, and you can, you know, highly expect this is going to be a reoccurring investment, or sort of investments I will be making on the road to glory. But yeah, really, really nice. It takes over the overall profit obviously to 853. I think previous to this it was £591. So yeah, we've obviously done a little bit of trading in between. So very happy how that went. Obviously I'll be doing investments this week with the players. Obviously they might not work quite as well this week because I'm not going really for any pre-investments, and that's some of the stuff that did very well. Although we will do some post-investments and apply the knowledge we took from this week's investments, as in don't buy players who've only played 1 out of 5. Keep an eye on how many players in said positions have high scores. And yeah, don't be afraid, I guess, to buy post-game, really, even at a slightly inflated rate, because a lot of them still go on to bang later in the week. You know, like those players where I didn't buy them where they could have done well. So, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow with a brand new video.